Follow the money.
I always say, you always follow the money.
Yeah.
This is Follow the Money with Mitch Moss and Paulie Howard on VSiN.
Thanks for checking in today. Watching on YouTube TV, listening Sirius XM channel 158, iHeartRadio, TuneIn Radio, or any of our affiliates across the country. We're going to get into today's Major League Baseball card. We'll expand on the NBA playoffs, the NHL playoffs, as the Western Conference Finals begin tonight. And right now we go out to the Progressive guest line as professional sports bettor Aaron Renning joins the program now. ER, good to talk to you today. How are you?
I'm doing good. Good to talk with you guys about some great playoff basketball.
No doubt. You're a lifelong NBA guy. You have specifically gone to watch Victor Wembanyama play in person just to check it out. You went to the NBA Cup. I've never seen him play in person. I have to go check it out sometime because it's, as Paulie said leading into the series, it was a quote from one front office guy who said, SGA is not a cheat code. Wembanyama is a cheat code. My God, is he ever ER?
Absolutely. I mean, like I say, when I handicap a NBA playoff series, I always start who's the best player in the series, because that's where you can get some upsets, because one player can definitely carry you. And, certainly cash as an underdog and be an NBA champion for that matter. And we might not get Wemby as an underdog another chance in an NBA series for a long, long time. I mean, he's that good. I mean, the want to. I mean, everybody saw it on display in Game 1 at Oklahoma City a couple of nights ago. It's not just the size and the ability. It's really the want to. The competitive to be the best. It's a great thing to watch, and obviously so much on both sides of the court.
Absolute destruction on the glass in Game 1. And I don't know how long they can play Hartenstein in this series. Do you think that'll continue, that the Spurs are going to dominate the boards?
I would expect Oklahoma City to really come out and do some different things here in this game. I mean, obviously they took a punch, and you always want to see how a team comes back. And, I think that's the one thing we have to remember about the Thunder. I mean, they didn't dominate on their way to winning the NBA championship last year. Game 7 against Denver and Indiana. Although one thing you certainly have to remember is those Game 2s, when they lost Game 1 against Denver and they lost Game 1 against Indiana, they came back in Game 2 and they won by 43 and 16. Obviously, in that situation tonight, a little bit different against Wemby, but we'll see how it goes. But the Thunder, this is not a team with 3 or 4 surefire Hall of Famers on it. To be this kind of a juggernaut favorite. Again, great regular season team, but I can't say that it's just a blown away great team in the playoffs.
Well, what did you do with the game, if anything, at this point? Because now the situation, basically, to your point, going back to last year, it reeks of Oklahoma City tonight. They're up to 7 here at Circa, 7.5 at other shops. What do you make of that?
Yeah, definitely sharp money here. The sharp books are pointing towards the Thunder. Again, talked about how they came back in Game 2s. And really, that's been a phenomenal trend in the NBA playoffs. I mean, look at San Antonio last round, get beat by Minnesota the first game, came back, beat them by just about 40 in that second game. It's been good when you get that favorite that loses the first game and they have that Game 2 at home. They've come back. So, very hard to bet against that. Very hard to bet against Wemby. For me this year, that's kind of been a rule of thumb. But I would definitely lean here towards the Thunder. For me, I'm still looking to play, just a brutal beat for me on the under the other night. I got that back with the over last night. But if Fox doesn't play, I haven't seen anything. I'm sure we'll know maybe an hour before game. I would still come back and play this one under the total.
Oh, you would? Okay.
Yes, I'm with you on that. The pace was very slow, and you got the top 2 defenses in the playoffs here.
Oh, I mean, this is just the kind of the future of the NBA, where it's 94 feet of basketball, guys picking you up full court, just athleticism. I mean, if you're one of these teams with the veteran guys like Giannis and et cetera, guys that are 27, 29, 30, I mean, the game is changing. It'll be interesting to see how these GMs kind of approach the offseason to try to compete with the Thunder or the Spurs.
Yep. It's going to be a gigantic offseason for every other team in the league for the most part. If this was not the second game of this 7-game series, and Oklahoma City was not down 0-1 playing again at home, if it was a game in February and both teams were fully healthy and they were off like 3 days rest each, right? What would you make the number?
Well, it's interesting. I mean, if you go back to the regular season, everybody talks certainly about how, the Spurs were up 4-1 in the series in the regular season. I mean, the spreads were pretty big. I mean, they were definitely bigger than this. Mm-hmm. You had a double-digit favorite. You had Oklahoma City by 8.5. Now, injuries always play a part of that, but, the market just hasn't quite caught up. I mean, even going back to, you mentioned the championship game I was at with the Knicks in San Antonio. I mean, the Knicks were a 2.5, 3-point favorite on a neutral in that game. Oh. It'd be the opposite at this point. So, the Spurs just continue to go up that power rating.
And then, so when it comes to, we've kicked around Hartenstein so far. My big time worry for Oklahoma City is Chet Holmgren. I mean, yes. I think there's an angle here where he just has a disastrous series, and I haven't done this yet, but I want to play under 13.5 points. But that kid looked lost out there the other night.
Absolutely. I mean, there's no question that Wemby gets up to play him and play him at his best. And it doesn't seem like Holmgren wants to rise to the occasion. So, I mean, that's very well put. And, what's interesting, guys, is, we saw it really in these first two games of the conference finals. I really thought going into it, the West was going to be, okay, which team's going to rise to the occasion and win this series? And we saw that obviously with the Spurs, where the Eastern Conference was, okay, which team's going to go and lose it and blow the series, as I didn't really trust either team. And boy, that was on display last night as well.
What do you think happens now tomorrow night? Well, I mean, you gave away a game in an epic choke, and if that lingers, and some people are saying you just can't overcome this, what Cleveland did, and the Knicks are 6.5 and 215 and got to be loving life after they stole a game.
I wish I knew. I mean, I really don't know. I mean, it's really hard because I thought that was a brutal spot for Cleveland. I mean, you're off back-to-back 7-game series. You haven't had any rest whatsoever. Obviously, the Knicks were rusty. But, again, just watching that game, the first half, you're watching it looked like an exhibition game in October between those two teams. I mean, it was brutal basketball. But with that said, the biggest worry for the New York Knicks was how they match up with a team that's very athletic, a lot of athleticism. And you could see it clearly on the floor with Mobley and obviously Spider, et cetera. They have better athleticism. They can do things. In New York, a little bit weak with defending that 3-point shot. But yeah, I honestly couldn't tell you. Hard to say who's going to show up there. But that was a tough spot. They took a punch. We'll see how they come back. For me, I would lean a little bit over the total here. I still think it's going to be offense between these two teams. You're always going to have Harden and Brunson on the court. I mean, those are two guys that you can go at from an offensive perspective. So I think, if anything, I'll bet it over. But I really don't know from a side perspective.
Yeah. Well, I mean, how about Atkinson last night, not taking a timeout? He took one, I think, during that whole run that was eventually like 30-8 during that time. And then he says, I never thought about taking Harden out of the game. I mean, at some point, you just have to realize the guy's awful out there, and he's the reason why we're going to lose this thing.
I was telling people, even going back to the Toronto series, I was just like, Harden's giving as much on the defensive end as he's given you from an offensive perspective. You couldn't really see it. You certainly saw it last night. I mean, whether he's getting blown by, falling asleep, not guarding the 3-point line, he is atrocious. And, Brunson could be that bad as well. So, Cleveland's kind of got to go at him and make it a game. But, you like I said, you're off 2 7-game series. Your team's probably going to gas out. You might, use those timeouts. I mean, easy to say now, but come on, man.
Yep, well done. Have you added the WNBA to, your daily betting portfolio this time of year?
I do. I've just I've given up on baseball forever. I can't stand the sport
Good
at
for
this
you.
point anymore from a betting perspective. Especially during the summer, I'd rather get out of here and travel and do some things. But yeah, I mean, since the NBA playoffs are pretty easy, you're watching games every night. I'll do the WNBA till about NBA finals are over with, maybe July 1st. So yeah, basketball's basketball. To me as a handicapper, I've just always enjoyed and had a little bit of a knack for beating basketball. And yeah, women's basketball, you can get some good money down on it nowadays.
Yeah. Did you bet anything tonight? I know you were going to travel to the game tonight, so you may not have had a chance, but did you get anything down for the WNBA tonight?
Yeah, I bet the Portland, Indiana game with Caitlin Clark over the total. I mean, again, very, very natural, easy bet. Not much to explain with the fever over the total, but been dabbling in it a little bit. Yeah.
Very good. RDR, thank you for the time as always. Enjoy the game tonight and good luck.
All right. Hopefully some more good games, guys. Thank you.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
back at you. So he's leaning under in the game tonight, specifically if Fox is going to be out there playing.
Yeah, to me, you have to. Yes.
Yeah.
Top two defenses, and the pace was so slow in game one. Needed double overtime to get there. Dallas Wings tonight, $1.50 on a money line. Rakia Jackson out for the year. The tirade from Fernandez.
Did it wake him
in
up?
the last game?
Was it good for them to have that time in between games? Maybe it was a good thing for them.
I think that's big. You take out a gal who can score 20 a game. That's a huge loss for Chicago.
I looked at playing Caitlin Clark with a double-double tonight. It's plus money. They're big favorites. He's expecting a lot of points. The market is expecting a lot of points on top of it. She's off to an awesome start. She's only had one double-double so far in 4 games.
Okay.
I would actually think that she can push for a triple-double tonight, which is around 20-1. We'll expand on the game coming up next. I'll give you an angle that is 17-6 straight up in the playoffs this year. It applies to tonight's game too.
Let me get your attention real quick, podcast listeners. I've got something for you that almost feels too good to be true. First, credit where credit's due. If you're listening to this podcast, you're already leveling up your betting game. You're riding along with our best bets and top angles. And when there's a good game on, you're getting involved with a few props and alt markets as well. There's one more layer if you really want to step things up, and that's VSiN Pro. I've mentioned it before, but things are only getting better for our pro subscribers. We just rolled out our MLB prop projections, breaking down some of the best edges across strikeouts, hits, home runs, and more. And that's on top of everything else pro subscribers already get, including public betting splits, expert picks, and betting guides across the sports calendar. If you haven't tried it yet, stop sleeping on it. You can get your first month just $9.99 or save big with promo code POD26 on the annual subscription. Hit the link in the description and start cashing in with VSiN Pro. All right, back to the show.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
So to expand on the whole Chet Holmgren against the Spurs and Victor Wembanyama angle, his points prop tonight is 13.5. Shop around because it's juiced differently at various shops, obviously. Chet has averaged 10 points per game. He's played in 5 of the 6 games against the Spurs this year. He's also played against them 10 times in his career. He's averaged below 13 points per game. He has gone over once against San Antonio this year. That number is 13.5. He's also shooting 36.5% from the field in the matchup. Does not go well for him at all, ever.
Yeah.
In the spot.
The big guys ran away from him in game one. Wanted no part of it. And a lot of people were stunned that you're putting Caruso on the alien. What's going on? Yeah, the other one, too, if Fox plays, and I'm going to assume he's good to go then after missing game one, if he's going to play tonight, he has 12 points, $1.30 at DraftKings. He's gone over that 10 of the 11 games so far. 10-1 run.
What's the juice on 12 points?
$1.30.
Wow. So
he only had one bad game when he had 10, and he's plus $1.50 to score 15. He's gone over that, I think, every game, but what, 1 or 2.
Well, I'm looking right now at vsin.com, the Opta AI projections tonight. Go check them out. It's a dynamite gauge to help you out, betting tool that you can use. They are projecting almost 17 points tonight for De'Aaron Fox.
21, 18, 24, 17, 16, 10, 21, 28, 18, 17, 17. Every single game, he's gone over 12 and he's gone over 15, but one. And the shot, look at the attempts. 23, 19, 15, 14, 17, 16, 16. Shots are there.
Yeah. So in terms of making a case for somebody else with Oklahoma City, like an A.J. Mitchell type.
Oh, it's just tough, though.
Maybe the other Jalen Williams.
You said this the other day. Maybe they have too much depth.
Mm-hmm.
And he can't figure out a rotation because he doesn't know how to attack this because he has so many good players. And he can only play 5 at the time. And who fits what role and who you're going to run out there. Because certainly what Caruso did, you got to play him. But they're also going to dare a lot of these guys to shoot and leave you wide open as well. But then how much run do you give Mitchell? How much do you play Wallace or some of these other guys?
Oh, Wallace has to play.
It's wild.
They
have 10 good players.
I would actually, if you want to look at steals on that team, I would look at, Wallace is so good at deflections and coming up with steals anyway. But the other guy, I mean, I'm not going to ladder Caruso's points, but he will get a ton of playing time in this game tonight. We can't forget that he was exceptional in the finals last year, and this guy has been a major player in big games and big series pretty much throughout his entire career. Like, he played a ton against the Pacers and was a major reason why they won that series last year and won the title. So, again, I'm not going to bet him like 15 points, 20 points. Opta AI is projecting 8.2 out of him tonight, and the number is 9.5. But if you can find the overall ladder with steals on him, okay. He's going to play, and the guy's an absolute plus defender out there.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the problem is the Spurs are, in theory, again, not going to turn the ball over as much because you have Fox back running the point here.
Yeah.
And Castle's not a true point guard, and that's the reason why he had double-digit turnovers the other night.
And you have to back off Harper props then, too, I would think.
Oh, man.
I don't know how many minutes he's going to get, even though he was fantastic in game 1 and he was so good in that road win at Portland. But if Fox back, if he plays, he's going to get a lot of minutes as well. Caruso at Caesars over 2.5 made threes is plus 130 after he had all those makes and attempts in game 1. I would think SGA bounces back.
How about SGA? Just keep riding the assist prop.
Yeah, points and assists 36.5.
Over
Caesars.
to hit 8+ assists tonight is plus money.
Okay.
And so
that's good too.
I mean, even if he goes off tonight and scores, like if he gets like 28 points, there's an angle here where he is just getting everybody else involved as well. So far I'm keeping it pretty simple. My biggest bet of the game so far is on Oklahoma City -1.5, minus 20 cents in the first quarter. I have not played money line yet. I might add that today because Circa has the best number on that, and that's where we're sitting right now doing the show. There's also this angle too, and Aaron Renning touched on this in the previous segment, just how much Wemby goes out there and this dude, you can just tell he loves to compete. It means the world to him. He wants to be the best. He plays with a chip on his shoulder. You can use any cliche that you want. So he played that masterpiece on Monday night in game 1. That's the same night that SGA got the MVP award, a day after the league announced it, that he was going to be the winner. And Victor Wembanyama was specifically asked about that after the game.
Mitch was saying that it's a pretty natural response for a competitor to see another competitor get something that he wants, whether it's the MVP trophy or whatever it might be. Just curious if that was in your mind at all, knowing that Shea had got that award and you were in the top 3 for it. And, did any part of tonight feel personal? Some of your facial expressions kind of look like you were really, really going for it.
Yeah, for sure. Everything you just said. It feels like I still got a lot to learn. And I want to get that trophy, many times in my career.
22 years old.
I know.
And he puts up those numbers. And Harper, 20 years old. In the starting lineup they ran out there in game 1, youngest ever, start a conference final. It's not fair. And the thing I can't get away from, when he plays at least 15 minutes, going back, they're 38-3. And that great moment, that Kodak moment, whatever you want to call it, where he's standing there looking around and the whole bench is standing up and pointing at him after what he did and how he delivered too. And so smart, knowing to take that 3 with 29 seconds left because you're in a 2-for-1 and how much time was left as well. And he hits the 3 from way out Curry land to tie it also. But that's the ultimate cheat code, as you said. That great quote in that article on ESPN.com. This guy can come out and go 38 and 20 with steals and blocks and assists, and there's nothing you can do about it. And he's the best player on the floor, and it just, when in doubt, a lob, throw it up to him, let him post up, and he'll go to work on whoever's guarding him. He's that good.
I'm looking at right now the odds screen for players to have steals tonight, and Caruso is plus money over 1.5.
Oh, wow.
Now, again, keep this in mind. The previous game went to double overtime, and he played 32 minutes. He did have 2 steals in that game. If you go back in reverse order in the Lakers series, he played 22 minutes in Game 4, had 2 steals. He played 20 minutes in Game 3, had 3 steals, and he played 22 minutes in Game 2, and he had 2 steals. So he has achieved 2+ steals in 4 consecutive games. 3 of those games he played either 20 or low 20 minutes. Like, again, if there's going to be a guy on the court, and they have so many guys, but
SGA at 5.
Of the players to get close to 30 minutes, isn't Caruso going to be one of them? Let me see what SGA's steal number is tonight. It's 1.5 is it's a bigger plus number than Caruso is.
Yeah.
And Kaysen Wallace is also plus 25 cents at DK to have 2.
Yeah. So going back to what, Ozzy said and TMI Ozzy and what he played, it's like they're letting him play. It's more physical basketball and swallow the whistle. And as I did on win-lose, look at the Mitchell props. He's not a great defender.
Right.
5+ steals, 20-1, 6+ steals, 30-1. Brunson, also a cone, 3+ steals, 8-1. A lot of it could be right place, right time, but this crazy defense and OKC so good defensively. Yeah, they had 21 turnovers. San Antonio in Game 1, it presents a lot of opportunities.
Yep.
And someone's got to grab that ball, and those things, you climb the ladder with those get crazy with the price. And
Sure.
Harper had 7 in Game 1.
Yep. Kaysen Wallace dominated the Suns series with steals. He averaged 2 per game. He went over 1.5 in 3 of those games. It dialed back a little bit in the final 3 games against the Lakers. But in 28 minutes again the other night, he had 2. So, I don't know. What if you bet all 3 guys, SGA, Wallace, and Caruso, to have 2+ steals tonight? It's a small loser if you get 1 there. It's an automatic winner if you get 2 out of the 3. It's a huge night if you win all 3 of them.
Yep. That's a nice return. I was going to say the same thing with these guys to make 3-pointers because San Antonio took 43 of them in Game 1 and the Spurs, the Thunder took 45. Some of these guys are priced at 0.5 or only 1.5.
I see that, yeah.
And the OKC guys, they're going to dare a lot of those guys to shoot and leave them wide open. But the Caruso at plus money, 2.5 after what he did. You can climb the ladder with him. It's great to have it back. Circus 2026 football contest open this week. You can sign up Friday. And if you want to play but won't be in Vegas every week, Winner's Circle Proxy can help. After your required in-person registration, Winner's Circle Proxy handles your weekly submission so you can make your picks anywhere in the country. One trip to Vegas, play all season long from anywhere. Schedule your appointment now, winnerscircleproxy.com.
I'm also seeing Dylan Harper at higher than plus 150 to get 2 tonight. And the other player is, can Jalen Williams get 2?
Yes.
He's almost 2-1 at FanDuel.
Yes.
I think that's probably worth a flyer as well. Today's Major League Baseball card is coming up next. Brewers pitcher Jacob Misiorowski became the first pitcher in Major League Baseball history to accomplish this yesterday. I'll give you that detail next here on VSiN.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
All right, so here's what the Miz accomplished last night. Great tweet. Kurt Hogg covers the Brewers.
Hey, Kurt.
Jacob Misiorowski, first pitcher, Major League Baseball history, to have 5 straight starts of 8+ strikeouts and 0 extra base hits allowed. He has not allowed an extra base hit in a month and 5 days. He struck out 44 batters in that time.
This is getting juicy. The Miz, Skeens, Ohtani, Miller.
Sanchez,
fantastic. Yes.
Sale, Burns, Yamamoto, Wheeler. So,
Oh, Yamamoto.
okay. This was as of Monday.
Mm-hmm.
The National League is also, well, they were 51-28 in interleague play against the American League. That's a 646 clip. That would be the best interleague series record by either league since 1997, the inception of interleague baseball. You just ran down everybody in the National League Cy Young race. Let me point out. Now, Skubal's on the fast track to recovery, but he's hurt. Crochet, hurt. Fried, on the mend. Look at the top of the American League Cy Young board. Schlittler is the short shot. Cease, DeGrom. After that, it goes Jose Soriano, Gavin. My point is, and I pointed this out on Pod of the Futures this week as well, another sentence I never imagined I would say, I cannot wait to bet the National League in the All-Star game. You're going to throw out that group of starting pitchers for one inning each, and then you can close it out with Mason Miller. And it's going to be, that's one-way traffic right there. That's pure domination when you compare the pitching staff that will be on board for the National League and compare them to the American League in that game. And I don't know, like, what's the number going to be? $1.40 in the game? If I lose, I lose. I got to take my chances with that staff.
Okay.
So then what do you want to do with the Brewers tonight? They're blazing hot. They won again last night. They get
Trying
the
to
Cubs.
sweep them.
I know. It's Harrison against Cabrera tonight.
Keep riding them.
It's right around a pick 'em, so go with them.
Yeah. They're on fire. And I'm going to trust them tonight. I just think this is, when you get in a hot streak like this, keep going with it. And you're going to just play well. They're not going to get swept, right? But it won't happen after they won 15 in a row at home. But a lot of times that does happen. And there's just so many great things going on, though, with these wild stats. How about the Cleveland-Detroit game? As I said yesterday, how bad Detroit is. Cleveland got them again. Messick solid as well. They're 2-12 in their last 14. But Bybee goes today. Quite the conundrum. They won on opening day.
With Bybee?
Yes. Since then, they've lost 9 in a row. His numbers are good, but no run support. He doesn't have a win. 7 out of the 10 starts, they've been held to 3 runs or fewer. But he's won 8 in a row against Detroit. So do you say, yes. So if you want to, because I know he's going to be solid because of how well he's pitched this year. It's just one of those wild things, like when we once interviewed Roger Clemens, that crazy year he had, and Radji Johnson, where for whatever reason, when it was his turn, he wouldn't get any run support.
That's right.
And you would lose 2-1 or 1-0 every game. It's like, this is ridiculous. That's what's going on with Bybee. But I think he's going to get the win today, finally, because his numbers are so strong that they'll break out of it. And it's a bullpen game for Detroit, and they're a mess.
Yeah, and they're in shambles as we speak.
Yes.
Can I make the case for Cam Schlittler's K-prop to go under?
Well, you've been on this Blue Jay thing for a while. I do know Humans has got a pick on the side coming up.
Okay.
They've won 11 of 12 at home. They're outscored their opponents 92-38. Vlad is hitting .620 career against Cam.
We saw it last night against his Blue Jays lineup. Will Warren is a dynamo when he pitches at Yankee Stadium. He had 3 Ks last night. So here's the good with Cam. He's averaging, it's 10.2 Ks per 9. Again, he's plus 145 to win the American League Cy Young. It should be shorter than that. Like, there's nobody even close to the guy right now. Average fastball is 98 miles an hour. The ERA is 1.35. Now, in a very small sample size against this Blue Jays lineup, 36 plate appearances, it's an 8.3% K rate. The Blue Jays are hitting .438 against them with a .412 weighted on base. Cam has gone over 5.5 Ks in 8 of his 10 starts this year. If you remember, they were making it 6.5 to begin, or 5.5. I'm like, I got to bet him every single time. But he faced Toronto 2 times last year. It did not go well. The first start, 5 innings, 7 hits, 2 earned, 3 Ks. And in the second start, he lasted 1 2/3, gave up 5 hits, 4 earned, 2 Ks, and he had 2 walks. The Blue Jays have struck out at an 18.4% clip on the year, lowest in Major League Baseball. So even if he goes 6 innings tonight, if he strikes out 18% of the Blue Jays batters, that's like 4 and change. I don't look at his overall K percentage and say that's going to be the normal K rate tonight because it's the Blue Jays and they're so good at not striking out. So I like him under 5.5 at plus money. And I've seen some projections today on Savage with the walks.
Yeah.
On the year, 3.72 walks per 9. I think betting him over with the walks prop is not a bad idea today, Paulie.
Okay.
And there's also this. How about what the Nationals did to Nolan McLean and the Mets yesterday.
Another over.
Wow.
I bet it blind. 9.5 tonight. Thornton making his debut for the Metropolitans. Every time you look up, these games are crazy with the Nats. And they have a good record, too.
Oh, way better than anticipated.
That's right.
So it's, Thornton's making his debut, and it's Littell going for the Nationals. So the Mets staked Nolan McLean to a 5-0 lead last night.
Yeah.
And that was gone before you could blink, and eventually the Metropolitans lost 9-6. You're right. I texted Mike Palm earlier today. You riding the Nats again tonight with the over? He goes, Mitch, it's every single day. I bet him blindly. So exact words as you just said. And Bo Bichette was awesome yesterday. A couple of dingers against Littell in his career. 6 of 14, 2 extra base hits, a home run as well. And Littell against this exact Mets lineup in 57 plate appearances, a 10.5% walk rate, about 15.5% Ks, a 320 average against, and 395 weighted on base. I did play 9.5 over tonight in the game.
All right. Like the under in the Dodger game, Ohtani with the ERA of 0.82 and the Dodger pen, 25 innings scoreless. They've been great. We probably won't see Mason Miller tonight, though.
Can't, right?
He's gone the last couple nights. Freddie Freeman said Pages, that was the best at-bat he's ever seen live to have this game-winning sac fly. Now, he took the loss for the first time, but it was an unearned run.
Mm-hmm.
But tough loss for the Padres as they're trying to get into first place. But it's this crazy thing where Ohtani has these sick numbers, but they don't win when he starts.
I was going to ask you, is it too high of a number here?
Yes, I do. I do think it's too high.
The Padres are obviously very close here last night, and if it wasn't for, Mason Miller does not get the loss last night. I know it's coulda, woulda, shoulda, but there was that errant throw over to first base. He was a little wild with that. If that doesn't happen, he's going to get out of the ninth inning.
Yep.
And then what the hell happens?
Yep.
Who knows? But Vasquez has also been sneaky good.
Yes, he has. Great numbers.
Yeah.
7.5 the total. Pages 500 career against Vasquez. Red Sox and Angels.
Let me point this out real quick.
Right.
Starting pitchers are 10-2 over their K-prop against the Padres last 12 games.
The opponent has scored first in 14 straight games against the Angels.
That seems bad.
Something happened similar last year. The Astros conceded the first run in 18 straight games in July. They have lost the last 6 starts. Why am I blanking on a guy's name? The weird name for the Angels.
Konkowitz?
Thank you very much. Last 6 starts, they've lost those. He's been bad. So those 2 crazy angles with that game. The Kurtz thing continues. 42 straight he's reached. And there's been a ton of walks as well. You want to play his props and look at that angle. And as we mentioned earlier, Tampa's on a 21-4 run. 15 of the last 16 they've won at home. And there's money coming against them, it seems, every game.
I'm betting them pretty much every single day.
Yeah.
It's just,
And one more. What's going on in St. Louis? 9 games over 500. 4th best record in baseball since April 27th. They're 1 win away from going 10 games over 500 for the first time since the end of the 2022 season when they won the division.
Yeah.
And McGreevy's been excellent.
Very good.
Yeah.
Although I think he's due some regression.
2-0 with a 0.75 ERA last 4 games. Both runs solo home runs. Crazy.
So I by the way, the Rays are the one team I've isolated.
Yeah.
Why are we not doing this with St. Louis? Is it still that we're not?
I wasn't aware of it.
Coming up on June, but they have a good record though. They've been winning way more games than we expected.
Wasn't supposed to happen. Yes.
Right.
Yes. I'm with you. And the people who caught on early to Atlanta have been riding it.
Well, the people who are betting the Braves' futures right away.
Yes, right.
Now you're onto something.
Mm-hmm.
And let me give you some first 5 streaks.
Please.
The Rays were 16-5-2 last 23 before this morning. I think that was a push. The A's are going tonight. They are 14-6-3 in their last 23 in the first 5. They have been spectacular in the first half of games. And now Lugo did go over that K-prop. You briefly mentioned Red Sox Royals there. It's early versus Waka tonight. Waka's 4.5 tonight, striking out 7.38 batters per 9. But if you include that Waka prop going over the other night, starting pitchers are still 18-3 under their K-prop against the Red Sox last 21 games. So NHL, best bets coming up for the games coming up tonight. And also WNBA in action. I got a take on Caitlin Clark next.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
Coming up in 15 minutes, Warren Sharp's going to join the program. We'll ask about some observations with the NFL schedule, maybe how to capitalize here early on, win totals, maybe some playoff stuff. There is news in the WNBA, and that is that Caitlin Clark is not playing tonight. So the Fever are hosting the Portland Fire.
Big move on the total.
And well, the point spread, too, was what, north of 12?
12.5 down to 9.5, 179.5 down to 174.5.
Okay.
Yeah.
I want to tip my cap to Max Newberry, who is modeling the WNBA. He tweeted me earlier today. This was at noon Pacific time. One suggested play via his model tonight, Fire Fever under 179.5. He projected around 168. Well, betting that under 179.5 when the thought that Caitlin Clark was going to play results in now some beautiful CLV. And per his model now, I'll ask him what he makes it without Caitlin Clark in the game. If he made it 168 before, I'm sure maybe this is still worth a bet.
The theme of this segment is some of these gals aren't shy, and they let it rip. So now the player to look at for points, I think, is Kelsey Mitchell. 25, 22, 17, and 18 shots so far in the 4 games. Averages 23 a game. I think she'll cook tonight. I mean, they don't play any defense, so I expect a high-scoring game, and I expect her to deliver now with Clark out. It's due to a back injury. I'm there with the Dallas Wings tonight on the money line. It was 2, 2.5, 3.
Yeah, it's a small number.
Yep, they're playing Chicago. Now, I don't know if it's going to be Skylar Diggins who steps up now, but that is a huge injury with our gal, Rakia Jackson, out for the year with the torn ACL. She was a great scorer. She had gone over her points prop in every game, and then she got hurt early in the last game. So how do they respond and react, and who do you attack from a player prop standpoint? I don't know, but I think it's going to take some time to figure out. And they did get the big win in that meeting. But I think with Fernandez calling out the whole team, that worked for the first game. I'm going to write it again.
Yeah, it could be.
That they respond after the tirade and quit yelling and complaining about minutes and shots and all that. And they are 2-2 so far. So they're a small road favorite, and I think they get it done. And 2 people tomorrow that we have to continue to look at. It's Plum with the Sparks and Sykes with the Toronto Tempo. They are 1-2 in scoring in the league. Plum is 4-0 over her prop for points, and it's not even close. She's averaging 26.8 a game. She's been in the 19-20 range. She's been efficient, but also they traded Jackson. She's taken more shots, too. And Sykes, averaging 25.5 a game, she went over easy. I mentioned that yesterday. She was
they
19,
killed it.
Yeah, she was 19.5. What a game. I mean, she comes out, she starts the day, she gets in a fight with Dr. Richard Kimball, and then scores 31 points instead of 19. But it goes back to the theme of not being shy.
She's doing it with one arm, too?
Yes, Sykes. 19, 21, 19, 18 shot attempts.
Right. Well,
I mean, it is going up, and she shoots threes, too. So she had 31 in the win, and she's in the 18,
teammates
19
had 30
range.
plus.
Yeah, right. So she's 4-1, her prop over, and Plum's 4-0. And they're both in action tomorrow. Got to keep going with that.
So FanDuel right now, they have the 6th player of the year up. Carter with the Aces is minus 145 to win the award.
Oh, what a start.
Since she opened with a 10 points in that humiliating loss to Phoenix, she's had 22, 27, 18, and 20.
Which is easily explainable. No matter the sport.
Yeah, ring night.
Yes, the pomp and circumstance, you're caught up in all that, and the emotion, and they just usually get steamrolled or have a bad performance. Since the Aces have been Aces.
Should they be 4-1 to win the title?
No.
The
said it several times. It's crazy.
And the Liberty are the short shots by a mile. They're plus 230. That doesn't feel right to me at all.
No, she has been awesome.
I think those numbers are backwards, actually.
And what Wilson is doing as well.
Wow,
she's a cheat code. 45 the other night.
Mike Palm recently told us that he added her to win. I think it was Defensive Player of the Year. She's still plus 170 to win that, and she is still plus 170 to win the MVP.
Mm-hmm.
Can easily take down.
That's right.
Both of those awards.
All right.
Jonathan Davis has a
Cheesecake Factory menu.
I was going to say a Gatling gun full.
Very good.
Of bets tonight, and he was going to unload them all. He did on vsin.com.
What's the 20-1 shot?
He has this. Those are the series bets.
Okay.
So he bet 3 different players to lead the Western Conference Finals in goals. He did take McKinnon, That was at plus 160 for a full unit. Then smaller unit plays on Landeskog at 22-1. Again, most goals in the series. And Brett Howden at 20-1 for the most goals as well.
So no Makar, huge blow. This team has also been sick the whole year. Fewest goals allowed, most goals scored. 17 different players have scored a goal in the playoffs. So even though you have a big loss tonight, they have so much talent. McKinnon has scored a goal 6 games in a row. He played McKinnon to score in the third period, plus 310. He's done that 5 of the last 6. Eddie's okay with it. I am too. Our guy Wedgwood, 7-1 with the 2-3 goals against. I don't know what you want to do with the total. Certainly we respect this organization. Vegas, 5th trip to the conference finals in 9 years. Hart's been great. People threw it out there. I'm on board, 75-1 Conn Smythe. But I think if you want, it plays to like a 3-2, 2-1 type score, though, if he's going to have to stand on his head for Vegas to win, just because Colorado's so potent and they have so many guys that can score, and the power play has been much better than they were. 27th on the power play in the regular season.
Let me point this out.
I was going to say, it was the special teams might decide it, though, because they call so many penalties, and Vegas has a good kill. 87%, Carolina 95% in the playoffs on the kill.
So I brought up the angle of playing Carter Hart to win the Conn Smythe to Stormy and JVT today at the end of Money Moves. Stormy did have a good point about Hart, and that is, again, you have to keep in mind with this award, it's not just the Cup final; it is the entirety of the playoffs. And he had some absolutely shaky displays against Utah in the first round.
And Dennis Bernstein brought up his off the ice stuff too.
Yeah, sure,
which good play against him.
And it's also very difficult for a goaltender to win the award.
Mm-hmm.
Her opinion was you stick with Mitch Marner at 12-1. And I don't. I mean,
okay.
I think if you're going to bet
points, all right.
Yeah, if you're high on the Golden Knights here, again, that has to be a play, in my opinion, because he would be the dude to take it down if the Golden Knights, like. And by the way, does it play out to where the series is 2-1, 3-2?
3-2 is possible.
You think so?
Yes.
Well, then I'll say this: if that's how Colorado is going to win games, then our bet on Wedgwood all of a sudden becomes it has a pulse now again.
Yes.
To win that award.
Well, they're hard to overcome Freddie, though. So our buddy Wyshynski, ESPN, did his preview and did the goalie confidence rating. Colorado's got a 7.5 out of 10.
Okay.
He gave Vegas an 8.
Oh.
He gave Freddie a 10.
A 10?
Damn right he did. I will not stand for any slander on Freddie.
Yeah, but let's be honest here. How many people on this show have disagreed with that?
Well, they're pointing to history. I mean, this is the 1 in 12. The last 3 times in this spot in the conference finals. That's their record. Swept, and then lost in 5. But this guy is out of his mind what he's doing.
What are you going to say if Montreal gets him for like 4 or 5 in game 1?
It's not happening.
No, but
it's not happening.
Hold on,
so don't worry about it.
What if that does happen?
Well, it's not happening.
But if it does, do you completely flip your opinion then?
No.
Okay.
I just got to see what happens. And how, is it power play or weak goals or whatever? Because he hasn't. 6th goalie to start first 8 games allowing 2 goals or fewer. The last to do it, Giguère in 07. Oh,
well, their defense deserves so much credit as well.
But here's what would concern me, though. You're only talking about like 260, 250 favorites series prices, right? And Carolina's now a bigger favorite than Colorado with the Makar news.
Yeah, the news that came down.
ESPN.com. Who's going to win the series? 21 of the 24 pick Colorado. 21 of the 23 pick Carolina.
Well,
it's hockey. Anything can happen.
My guess would be they had to submit their picks before the Makar news obviously came out and was official.
Yeah.
I mean, if Colorado is fully healthy here, and oh, by the way, Mark Stone today was skating with the healthy scratches, so that's a positive sign. It looked like it was a total question mark when he was going to return for the series. So if you factor in both of those, I mean, who would you have picked? To me, it would have been Colorado, no question.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
By the way, FanDuel has 6.5 on the game tonight, minus 124 to the under. So if you like the under, I think you probably got to play it there. That's probably the best price you're going to find.
Davis has first period over minus 125. I didn't see much with the shots on goal, though, either. I'll play Newhook tomorrow for Montreal.
Anything with a Colorado home game, goal in the first 10?
Yeah.
That was gold for a long time during the regular season anyway.
Yeah. The other thing, too, Vegas has been unbelievable in the third period all year.
Yeah.
They don't give it up, and they're potent with the offense. But this is a whole different animal going against this team. I mean, this team was what a joke what they did in the regular season. So I still go back to half of the Anaheim series and the Utah series. They were thoroughly outplayed. I count 7 games they were outplayed that they won, and they went 3-0 in overtime. They were down in the third period in the first 5 games of the Utah series.
NFL schedule with Warren Sharp up next. We'll ask about keen observations that can be applied for win totals, other futures potentially, here on Follow the Money next on VSiN.